Hey, great to see you, Nick from Transform My Poker, and I'm going to talk about your confidence. Your confidence so that you can meet more girls or boys. No, it's not that. It's confidence in your poker. Underexplored topic in poker videos, poker training, poker help. And I think underexplored because most of the people that make poker training have confidence in their poker because they've done decently well or very well. However, it is a real thing. It can really hold you back if you don't have confidence in your poker. And I think there's some concrete things you can do to play with more confidence. I think this is especially important in no limit hold'em. If you play limit poker, I think it's much less important. But in no limit hold'em, your stack and your fortunes in a given session or for a given buy-in or a tournament are at risk and are in play or should be in play, something we'll talk about, reasonably often. So you need to be able to make the right moves at the right times in order to do well in No Limit Hold'em. And you can't do that if you're second guessing yourself or if you're not confident doing certain things. So let's talk about how we can improve your confidence and some concrete ways to do that. The first thing is something you should be doing away from the table, and that's working on weaknesses. So work on weaknesses. And I've seen, hundreds of students, my own, our coaches, people going through our courses at Transform My Poker, and people do not do this enough. They do not work on their weaknesses enough in poker generally. And, if we're talking about having confidence in doing something, confidence doesn't come from magic. It doesn't come because you're born knowing how to 4-bet bluff, right? Almost nobody is in that situation. Everybody else learns how to do it. Confidence comes from successful repetitions. The more times you've done something with success, the more confident you will be doing it. So if you are watching this video and you struggle to make big bluffs or make big call downs or make big value bets or put a lot of your chips in play at all or back your reads, you think that guy's bluffing, you think he doesn't have it, but you don't have very much, so you sort of quietly slide your cards away rather than taking the risk. If any of that describes you, then work on those specific things. Identify the things that you do not have confidence doing at the poker table or that you feel that you're weak doing and actually work on them. Obviously, too many things for me to cover in this video, but some ways to work on weaknesses. First of all, identify them. Go and get help and information either from us or from other people to get your knowledge gap closed so you know what you should be doing. Second of all, look to role models and good examples of people that do it well. So let's say you struggle to make big bluffs. Why not identify someone in your local card room or in your online games who successfully makes big bluffs? Watch them do it. Watch for the spots that they do it in. Talk to them about their poker. People love being asked about why they're so good at poker. Trust me, it's a technique I've used many times in a live card room. Do it in the right setting, in the right way, but generally speaking, people love to be asked. I'm going to start an epidemic of pros getting cornered, but it's something to think about. It's a shortcut. And then just work on it yourself. So if you struggle to, play aggressively enough from late position with lesser hands, get yourself a commandment to open the action every time it gets to you for the next 3 sessions when you're in late position and experiment. If you struggle to bluff, force yourself to bluff more often for a couple of sessions and see how it goes. Work out what works for you and what doesn't. It's just super important to work on your weaknesses at all times because that's what builds confidence. Now, some other practical tips for getting more confidence in your poker. Play lower. So most people play poker at slightly too high stakes for their ability, for their kind of bankroll, and just for their confidence generally. And the reason we do that is it's super tempting, right? Who doesn't want to play higher? If you play higher, you can win more money, you can win bigger tournaments, you're playing against better competition, you feel like, cooler. It's a higher status thing to do. However, the greater percentage of your bankroll or the greater the impact a decision has on your poker generally, in your future poker generally, so, playing a big tournament, for example, the lower your confidence will probably be because the results have a bigger impact on you. So one quick way to solve that is just to play lower and leave your ego at the door. Play a lower limit, play more tables or play more tournaments or visit the card room more often, But play a lower limit, build up your skills and build your confidence that way. Don't ever play over your head, by the way. That's a health warning. Never play at the point where, a poker game is going to have a big impact on you emotionally or financially, because it's very hard to play good poker. You're probably going to lose, and that's not what we want. So lower the limit you play at can have a big effect on your confidence. Here's something critical if you play No Limit Hold'em. Embrace the concept that your stack is a weapon and your stack is in play. Too often, especially in tournaments, people become conservative with their chips and they try and protect their stack and they try and survive. People can do this in cash games too, but it's especially true in tournaments because often you only get one stack, right? Fight against this, because in No Limit Hold'em, you need to be prepared to make the right play, whether that play involves all of your chips or a few of your chips. Now, a lot of times it's not going to involve all your chips. Fine. But we need to be able to put maximum pressure on our opponents when we need to. We need to make cooldowns when we have an edge against their range. We need to be able to make the biggest value bets possible. If you can't make those plays, you are leaving money on the table and you're probably getting rid of your edge, because no poker player's edge is that big. So it's vital you see your stack is a weapon and you see your stack as being in play. Now, I'm not talking about going maniac or just tripling the size of your bets or going all in more for the sake of it, but I am talking about analysing hands correctly, and then if the right thing to do is to move all in on a semi-bluff, you must do that thing. That's how poker works. And I respect that No Limit Hold'em involves an emotional challenge in putting your chips at play. So again, the solution is to work on it. Convince yourself away from the table it's the right thing to do, but then work on actually doing it and gain confidence from those successful repetitions. Here's something you can do if you struggle with negative emotions when you play, or a lack of confidence, or you don't have the courage of your convictions, or you struggle to pull the trigger. And that is have an achievements folder. An achievements folder. So I'm laughing because the idea of me having any folders is funny. So this can be an actual written thing on a phone, on your computer, or in a notepad or a piece of paper. Those are the ways you can write. Well done, Nick. You didn't know that, right? Or you can just hold it in your head, but I would actually recommend writing them down. And this is just something to give you confidence in your poker, because poker's a tough game. Small things can make big differences, like big coin flip hands. It's very easy, even if you're fantastic at poker, to go through a run of losing or not cashing tournaments. And this is going to affect your confidence because you're a human being, I assume. So have something that you can look at which brings you positivity, which makes you feel good, which just gives you that base confidence that you can play this game. So write down your achievements in poker. Now, you may be watching this thinking, oh, I don't have any achievements. I haven't won a bracelet or tons of money or anything like that. You do have achievements, because I guarantee you're a better player than when you started. And I guarantee you've played some really good hands in the last month or two. You've probably won some tournaments, or even won some satellites or single table events, or had some cash game sessions you're proud of. And this is a fun thing to do, by the way. This is like giving yourself a bit of puffed up chest. Just spend 5 minutes writing down your things you're most proud of in poker. It could be anything. How much money you've won, what limit you can now play at, your understanding of something, a really cool hand you've played, a trophy you've won. Do this, write it down, and then go to it when you're not feeling confident about your poker. Remind yourself you have some ability at this game. Look, I can give you all the theory in the world. Our other coaches give you tons of theory. Unless you are, able to play in a positive mindset and able to make the plays you need to make, everything else, nothing else will work, right? Your knowledge becomes useless if you can't execute. And I really believe that boosting your confidence in this way can help. So give it a try. Next up, remember, when you're at the table, logical analysis wins. So logical analysis wins. Here's the good news. Logical analysis wins. Got folders and logical analysis. This is red hot stuff. Logical analysis wins. Here's the good news. It doesn't matter how you feel about a hand. The cards are going to turn over the same. You must convince yourself of this. We do not live in a mystical universe. If you believe we do, and that having your lucky t-shirt on or your lucky hat stand at the table or whatever it is, then good for you. more power to you, carry on. I'm here to tell you that's probably not true. Computers would struggle to do things if they had to have the right conditions and bits of luck and spirituality to do them. Poker is a game in which if you keep analysing hands correctly and making the right decisions, you will make chips and you will make money and you will cash tournaments. That's just true. We know this to be true. I'm sure as a poker enthusiast, you know it to be true. So you need to bring logical analysis into hands that you play. And even if you're feeling like you're not confident with your poker or you're on a downswing, if you just commit to being in the moment as much as possible, I know it's easier for me to say than do, and carry through and make the right decision based on your logical analysis, you will get the results that you deserve, right? So don't get too hung up on the fact you're not feeling good about your poker. Do these concrete steps, but always commit to being in the moment and making the right decision. And do whatever you need to do internally, emotionally, in your head to commit to those decisions and pull the trigger, even if it's a scary spot. In the words of a previous coach of mine, sometimes you have to close your eyes and put the money in. Don't actually close your eyes, because that's a tell. But figuratively, sometimes you've got to put the money in because it's the right thing to do, even if it's a scary thing to do. And finally, just to underline that, commit. I love ending a video with a bit of commitment. I'm that kind of guy, solid as a rock. If you commit to doing the right things at the poker table, as I've just said, you will get the rewards and confidence will come from that, right? It's not the other way around. You don't get confidence first and then be good at poker. You get good at poker by working on your weaknesses, by playing lower and getting in those repetitions, by making big bluffs. You learn how to do big bluffs better. By making semi-bluffs, you learn how to do them better. Get out there, get involved, experiment with your poker and take action and gain confidence from the things that work. When they don't work, go back and learn. But commit to making the right plays when you're in the moment and you will do super fine, super well. All right, I hope this has helped boost your confidence. Leave me a comment or a question underneath the video and give it a Facebook like or a share on social media so other players struggling with their confidence and executing at the poker table can get the benefit as well. I wish you luck with it. I hope your confidence builds and your wins build. If not, let us know and we'll make a video to help you. I'll talk to you in another one very soon.